Right, good evening one and all, welcome to the Friday Waffle. Now, I'm actually recording this last Thursday. This will be getting put out on Friday night obviously, but I recorded it last night, which technically in my world is tonight, Thursday the 28th of November. Now the reason I'm recording it just now is because in the morning I'm jumping on a train to Edinburgh, then I'm getting a train down to Birmingham. I'm going down to basically meet the team, going down to their head office, meet all the guys, so that should be good. And then we're going out for a curry and a few beers tomorrow night, which is tonight when you're watching this. Yeah, it's very difficult trying to get my timeline. It's Thursday in my world, but it's Friday in your world, unless of course you're watching this video months later. Then it could be Tuesday or even Thursday, who knows. But that doesn't matter, it really doesn't matter a toss when I record Friday Waffle. So yeah, like I says, I'm going on a train down to Birmingham tomorrow on the Friday, and I'm coming back Saturday morning. The plan is to not have too many beers, so I can basically get a train and come home at, quite a reasonable hour. I don't want to be coming up the road on Saturday night and then I've only got the Sunday, then I'm back to work again. So that is the plan. So I thought, rather than putting out a Sunday waffle, I thought I'd rather record it now, and then that way I can, you guys can get something for on Friday for a change, which would be nice. So I hope you're all good. I'm fine. Starting to settle into the job a wee bit. It's still a slow process, but I think every day that I successfully get through, you feel a wee bit better. You feel that wee bit more confident about doing stuff. And I think there's definitely a lot to be said about not so much getting flung into the deep end, but the only way you possibly learn anything is by actually doing it. And that's what I've found. Getting asked questions and you've got to go away and try and find out the answer. But then once you find the answer out, you kind of know how to answer stuff, and then you learn from it. So yeah, job is all good. Gaming wise, have I played anything at all? I don't think I have. I don't think I've played a single video game apart from the wonderful Ghosts and Goblins remake, Ghouls and Demons, or Ghosts and Demons I think it is. Absolutely stonking game. If you've not watched my video, go and watch it. Download the game and make a donation to these guys, because it is absolutely fantastic. It really, really is. It's one of the best games I've seen for a long time. And at first I was thinking that they've maybe taken the arcade code and just sort of put their own graphics in, but the levels are all different. They've put in extra moves and that, so they've maybe taken, I don't know, possibly they've taken the arcade code and just changed everything. I've really no idea. I'm not a technical person in the slightest, but all I do know is if you like Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, then you absolutely owe it to yourself to go and play it. My mate Lone Boy's Post, he watched my video a couple of nights ago, and he said when he watched that he was super excited. He couldn't wait to get home from work so he could play it. And I know Dave's put his own video out, so go and check it out. I know Dave thinks it's a fantastic game as well. So I think that's the only game I have actually played this week. I did buy on the PlayStation VR Blood and Truth or something, Blood and Lies, I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's kind of like you're a cop, I think it is, going by the trailer. Got it on the Black Friday sale. It was $15.99 I think it was, rather than 35 quid. It looks, one of my mates actually, Gary, recommended it. He says it's a great game. He says definitely worth picking up. So I thought, yeah, I need to start buying games for VR. More importantly than buying them, I need to actually start playing them. Excuse me. Because yeah, I'm absolutely awful at buying games. Excuse me. And never actually getting around to playing them. I mean, I've always been like that. And it's kind of got me thinking, when the PlayStation 4 when the PlayStation 5 eventually comes out, I don't know when it's due out, probably, is it next year? I don't know. Right now, I would say I am wasting my money if I go and buy one on launch, because I don't really play modern games. And so to pay £400-500, whatever it's going to cost, for a system that I'm probably going to play for a couple of weeks and then I'm probably going to sit in it for a while, not literally sit in it, but simply not use it for a while and then eventually buy some more games, it's kind of a waste. I should really do what one of my mates does. I've got a mate, Grant. He's a late adopter. He's always late to the party. He'll wait a couple of years and then he'll pick up a console for, you know, a fraction of the price, which is fair enough. However, if you're happy enough to simply watch other people enjoy new technology, then that's fine. But I'm one of these guys, you know, I'll go into YouTube and I'll watch something, or you know what actually sells me stuff more than anything? It's not adverts, it's not reviews on YouTube, it's friends. People talk about it. It just takes one of my mates to say, oh my god, you've got to see the PlayStation 5, it is unbelievable, and that's me, woof, straight in there, buying it right off the bat. You know, that's how I've ended up with so much hardware. I would go along to the computer club and I would see somebody with whatever it might be, and I would just think, I need to have one of these. You know, I'm very, very impulsive, I should say. You know, I get an idea in my head and it becomes the focus, whether it's a video game, whether it's a console, whether it's anything, whether it's a new iPad, a tablet, a phone, anything, any kind of bit of gadgetry. If I get an idea in my head and I think I want it, it becomes my sole focus until I buy it, and then I don't use it. that's how I work. That's how that's how I roll, as they say. Which is kind of daft because you're effectively wasting money. Now, I say this every single week, but this is not going to be a long waffle because, like I says, I'm up early tomorrow, which is Friday, which is actually... when you're watching this, I was up early for this morning. I'm up early, I've got to get the train, I think in Livingston, about 5:30 in the morning. Got the train to get from Edinburgh about 6:20, something like that. So I'm going to be up early, so I really need to make a point of getting to my bed and try and get, 5-6 hours sleep at a very, very minimum. Oh, excuse me. It'll be 5 hours. 5 hours probably. So that's the plan, Dan. Get an early train. Well, it's not the plan. It's if I don't get that, then I'm basically screwed. So yeah, like I says, gaming wise, I've not really been doing much at all. Not other than playing Ghosts and Demons. I've not played anything. I will need to change that. I will definitely need to change that. And I mean, I've not even had the MAME cab on. I mean, I was going through a phase of playing the MAME cab every night. But I think, again, it's just that getting into the job, I've got to just kind of get my head in a good place, get myself sorted. You know, I need to kind of spend all my energy at the moment just doing other stuff, get myself sorted, and then I'll get back to doing normal stuff. I mean, I did manage to, the first couple of weeks, the new job, I was doing nothing. I literally wasn't doing anything. I don't know why. I think I was just tired, and I don't know. You've got to have your head in the right place. But last week I did manage a couple of videos, I think, and I also managed a live stream on, was it Sunday? I think it was. That was good fun. I was talking to Lon Boys Post tonight, and we are planning. We're going to be doing a Christmas special. Alan Dave Talk Bollocks. That'll be coming out. I don't know. We'll put it out Christmas Eve, something like that. But we're probably going to do an Alan Dave Talks Bollocks next week. It's been a wee while since Dave and I have got together. And I will also be sitting down with Lacosa as well, because we've got a video we want to get finished. We did start it, and then I started the job and I wasn't able to really link up with Chris. But so there's going to be a couple of collab videos coming out over the next couple of weeks. But I've still got my... that was the year that was 1985, the Spectrum years. I've got that kind of 46.5% done. So I've still got a wee bit I need to finish. Again, it takes a lot of time, so I want to get that finished. So yeah, that is basically it. So what I'm going to do, I mean, I'm 10 minutes into this video. I'm going to just crack on with the questions. and see where we go. Apologies about basically the shit camera. I mean, it's, I don't know, is it possible to get a really, really good, I don't know, I mean, the camera I'm using, believe it or not, is supposed to be 1080p, but I mean, look at it. Does that look 1080p to you? I don't know. It might be the crap light. I mean, that bulb up there is just rubbish. I mean, it always looks like I've got a red face, which I don't have. So yeah, the camera I use on my, well, it's the webcam thing. It's a Logitech. I wouldn't say it's pants, but it's not the greatest. If anybody can send me a link to a decent webcam that I can use that actually gives me a good picture, or is our webcams normally shite? I don't know. Let me know if there's something you think that'll do the job, Meister. Let me know and I'll maybe buy it. I might even ask for it for my Christmas, something like that. So I'm going to just crack on with the questions, and I think there are a couple here. So kicking things off, we've got Stephen Thornber. Super Waffle, I have a question for you. I know you are a huge fan of Super Pipeline and Pipeline 2, but the character you play in it, do you remember his name? And it's got in brackets, yes, he has one. You know what? I'm ashamed to admit I don't actually know. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to Google that. Yeah, that's super. Wait a minute, what I'm going to do? Yeah, Super Pipeline. That is quite shameful that I don't actually know the name of him. But I just tend to... instructions. I tend just to jump straight into a game. Right, does it tell me the name of the guy? I don't actually know if it's got... if this is instructions. No, this is just somebody basically telling you how to play the game. It doesn't actually tell you. Let me have a wee look. I'll look at the Layman 64. Yeah, so I don't actually know. Is it going to tell me instructions here? What I could do is listen, sid info. Right, you know what? I don't know. I could probably find out. Right, listen, you know what? It doesn't matter. No, Stephen, I don't know. You've caught me out. I have got no idea. Don't know. Simple as that. All I do know is it's a fantastic game. So, thanks for your question, Stephen. Next is Mr. Colin Jones. Watching this one on company time during a long break. We'll come up with a question for next week when I get home, or more likely tomorrow. So I don't know if Colin has actually posted a question. Next, we'll go down the rabbit hole. Kevin, for the Friday Waffle. Alan, I'm going to confess something, and for a laugh, I'm going to make a demand from you. I have never liked Activision, even way back in their days making Pitfall for the Atari 2600. Convince me I'm wrong. Ooh, that's a bit controversial, Kevin. Activision, I'll be honest, Activision were a good company back in the early days. I'm a big fan of a lot of their games. Stuff like, I mean, Pipeline 2, sorry, not Pipeline 2, Pitfall 1 and 2. Wasn't a big fan. Excuse me, I'm going to eat it's a, what's it called, a sports mix. I got them from my daughter for my for my birthday. Excuse me. Yeah, some of the early games are absolute classics. Hero. Little computer person. You've got all the David Crane stuff, Decathlon. Oh blimey, what else? I've completely forgotten. Let me have a wee look. But yeah, I'm really rude talking and chewing a sweet at the same time. That is really bad. But yeah, massive fan of the early Activision stuff. It would be hard pushed not to be a fan of it, because Activision were one of the first kind of companies to start putting out software, and you always knew that an Activision game was going to be good. Right, let me have a wee look and see if I can find where we go, publisher. Right, let's have a wee look for Activision, and I'll tell you what games are worth playing. Now, I'm purely looking at C64 stuff here. I mean, they put out a lot of stuff. You would not believe the number of different companies. Right, here we go, Activision. My goodness. Right, in no particular order. Adventure of the Year, never heard of it. Alcazar the Forgotten Fortress, never heard of it. Aliens the computer game. I don't know, I can't say I played it. Alter Ego. Alter Ego was an adventure where you basically made choices, and it was all about growing up. I always actually mean to play it. I think it either got a Zap Smash or a Zap Gold, no, Sizzler, sorry. A Sizzler or a Zap Gold medal. I never played it back in the day, and I always mean to actually have a shot of it. Apache Strike, never heard of it. Archer, never heard of it. Atomic Robo Kid, never heard of it. Barry McGuigan's Boxing, loved that game. Beam Rider, classic game, love it. Beyond Dark Castle, not Borrowed Time, not Chop and Drop, don't remember that one. Chopper, Complete Computer Fireworks, what the hell? It's actually it's actually a firework game. I'll need to look at that. The Corporation, Countdown to Shutdown, not David Crane's Pitfall. Great game, never really played it much. Day at the Races, it's a Greyhound racing game. Decathlon, brilliant. Die Hard, blimey, they made that in 1990. Dragon Breed, Fast Tracks, yeah, it was kind of like a computer version of Skeletrix. Let me see what else. Game Maker, I loved Game Maker. I actually made a demo. I wish I still had it. Ghostbusters. What's not to like about Ghostbusters? It's one of these games, when you actually look at it, it is very, very, very basic. I mean, it really is. There's really no... It's pretty... You would say it's a shit game, but you know what? Because of the music and the fact it's based on Ghostbusters, it just works. Ghostbusters 2, not so quite so good. Great Yardage, American Football. Great American Cross Country Road Race, like that. Sorry, the Great American Cross Country Road Race. That must have one of the biggest titles or names ever. Guadalcanal. Never even heard of that one. Hacker, you never really got into it. Hacker 2. Hero, great game. Oh, you be quiet. See, that's game based. When it's a classic game, you have this sound. What sound is that again? Where? I know that sound. Where does that sound come from? Something's niggling me that is... Is that... Oh, wait a minute. Is that Hyper Sports or ER Kung Fu for the C64 once more? I think that might be ER Kung Fu. What do you think? Let me know if you know what that is. Anyway, yeah, Hero's a great game. Howard the Duck and Little Computer People was groundbreaking for its time. When you think about what it did, it was like a virtual pet, and it was in 64k memory, even less. Amazing. Master of the Lamps is one of these real trippy, weird games, but it's a lovely game. It's got great music. Mind Shadow, don't remember that. Mondo's Fight Palace. Dearie me, that's a bizarre looking game. That, if ever, that was 1990. Movie Studio, Murder in the Mississippi, Park Patrol, another great game. Pathfinder, brilliant game. Pitfall 2, River Raid. Wow, so many good games. I mean, they had later stuff. I'm talking about all the really early stuff. You had stuff like Toy Bazaar, which is a really good little platform game. Then you had Zenzi. Again, it's a kind of puzzle game. Web Dimension, which was kind of a... It looks a bit like Tempest, but I don't think it is. Anyway, getting back what you were asking me, Kevin. Activision, yeah, I think they were they did put out some fantastic games in the early days. Some of the best games in the Atari 2600. Some of the games they put out later on were really good. I'm not really... I mean, Activision, do they not do the Call of Duty? I think they do. So yeah, I'm struggling to understand why you wouldn't actually like Activision, because they put out a lot of good games. They put out a lot of different games as well. So is there any reason why you didn't like them, Kevin? Let me know. But no, I would say that Activision were one of the best 8-bit, developers, publishers, whatever it is. Second question, do you have any games either old or new that are still in the cellophane wrapper? Yes. Let me go and have a look. I have got... in fact, you know what, I might... Where? There are a few... Oh, where did I put them? There's a game down here. I don't know if you can hear me actually. I'll sort of keep my voice up so you can hear me shouting. Where's my PlayStation 3 games? I don't have many at all. In fact, here we go. Here's a wrapped game. This is a abstract one, if ever there was. Because of the wonderful things he does. Right, where are we? Here we go. You get out here. Yeah, two of the games that I've got. Now I do have one. I've got a PlayStation 3 game, which for some reason I never actually opened. But I can't actually find my PlayStation 3 games. They might be downstairs. But two of the games which I have, no, that's been opened. Yeah, I think these are the only two. Well, there is that other one which I've told you about, which I can't find. Two games which I have got. Now I don't know if these are brand new or whether they were like, I don't know. First one is for the Virtual Boy, and it is, what is it? Virtual League Baseball. Still wrapped, shrink wrapped. I don't know whether that is brand new or whether it does look brand new. I mean, if you look at it, you can see there it does look kinda new. Another game is an equally failed system, and it is Double Dragon for the Atari Jaguar. The reason I've never opened it is because it looks like a game that I will never actually play. There we go, can you see that better? There we are. Double Dragon, can you see the screenshots? Yeah. I don't know. I've got tons of DVDs, like DVD films, that I've never ever opened. Buy the director's cut, then you simply never play it. What's that all about? Don't know. Thirdly, do you think the Nintendo Switch will eventually outsell the 3DS? And consider your answer carefully, because the original regular Nintendo DS still outsold them both. Yeah, the Nintendo DS, it was one of these consoles, a bit like the Wii, that everybody wanted. It became, everybody wanted a DS. And I think part of the reason was the availability of the little card, the little R4. Basically, it allowed you to play games for free. Everybody that had a DS had one of these, and I've got to be honest, I had one, and because I had one, it meant that I had absolutely no interest in playing the DS because I had literally hundreds of games and I simply never ever played it. So that R4 card absolutely killed the DS for me as a system, which was a shame because it was a nice system. But like the Wii, it appealed to everybody, but there was so much shovelware in it. There was so much crap, Barbie adventures and all that bollocks, I can't even remember. All, High School Musical crap. Nintendo Switch, will it outsell? I don't think so because, as I've just said, the Nintendo DS appealed to everybody. It was one of these games you could get like Brain Train, and so there was grannies owned the DS's, people who weren't into games. It was like the casual gamer, people who didn't own, didn't want a PlayStation would have a DS. These people aren't going to own a Nintendo Switch. There's a lot of diehard gamers who would not buy a Switch because they think of Nintendo consoles as being toys, which is daft because I always think that Nintendo, love them or like them, they do put out some amazing games. So I don't think the Nintendo Switch is going to outsell. It might outsell the 3DS possibly because at the end of the day the 3DS was a kind of gimmick, and I think it was a limited market for the 3DS, and I think the Switch will be the same. So it's possible the Switch might outsell the DS, 3DS. I don't think either of them are, the 3D. Oh no, yeah. I don't think either of them will ever outsell the Nintendo DS because it was, like I said, it was like the Nintendo Wii. It just appealed to non-gamers. And finally, is your daughter Ava excited about Overwatch 2? I have absolutely no idea, Kevin. I didn't really know Overwatch 2 was coming out. I'm sure she will be all over it. When is it coming out, actually? That'd be interesting, because it's her birthday coming up. Interesting. I would imagine it's not out yet. The fact that you're saying it's coming out, or there's an announcement you've said, so I'm assuming it's going to be probably later next year. But yeah, I think she will absolutely be all over it. She still buys collectible figures and whatnot for it, so I'm sure she'll be all over it. So anyway, Kev, thank you very, very much. Batman, great waffling as ever, sir. My question for this week is, what games that are generally considered by punters and critics to be bad do you enjoy playing? Gaming guilty pleasures, if you like, Mr. Stewart. It's over to you. Bad games. I don't know. I mean, I've been asked this question quite a few times. You know what, I can't think of any one particular game that I would say the game was shit, but I think it's brilliant. But what I will say is I'm going to stand up for certain consoles. And I've just mentioned two of them. One of which is behind me here, and I'd probably like to see it a few times. And it is this bad boy, the Virtual Boy. Now, you know what? People criticise the Virtual Boy all the time. All you hear about is, oh, it was a flop. It was a flop, it's rubbish, it gave you headaches, nah. And what you'll find is, half the people that say that never actually owned one. They've never even held one. Personally, I love the Virtual Boy. I think it's it's very, very collectible. It's ridiculously, it's ridiculously fragile because it's all manual. It's all mechanisms, little motors and mirrors and all that kind of stuff. So apparently it can break very, very easily. But you know what? It works. It works really, really well. And like I says, it annoys me when I hear people dissing the Virtual Boy because people tout it as being a big flop. People know nothing about it. They go, oh, that's crap. The Virtual Boy is crap. Well, actually, no, it's not. Would I want to play it for any more than 20 minutes? Probably not. Do I play the VR and the PlayStation for any more than 20 minutes? Probably not. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. People have to remember the Virtual Boy was way ahead of its time. You know, really, really was. And like I says, it just annoys me when people dismiss games, dismiss systems, and you say to them, "Oh, have you actually played it?" No. Well, how can you make a comment about a system when you've never even played the damn thing? So, yeah, that, and also the Jaguar. The Jaguar is, if you Google it, the Jaguar is generally regarded as a flop. Huge, big, massive flop. But again, yeah, the games in it are limited. But there are some nice games, and it's got one of the best video games that you could ever play, and that's Tempest 2000. Use the little spinner that my good mate made for me. He added a little spinner onto the Atari gamepad. I mean, I had that along at the computer club a couple of weeks ago. Tempest 2000 is a fantastic game. Yeah, it can be done on other machines. I think it's also on the PlayStation, Sega Saturn. But there's a few good games in the Jaguar, and I tend to favour failed systems. I mean, the Vectrex technically is classed as a failed system, although people do say it's an amazing machine, which it is. I've never heard anybody say the Vectrex is a bad machine. Some of my mates had never ever seen one before, and I let them see it, and they're like, that is just awesome. It really is. So, yeah, as I says, Kev, I can't think of Batman, I can't think of any game in particular that I enjoy that everyone else says is crap. There's plenty of games that everyone says is brilliant, and I've got no time for. Zelda, Call of Duty, you know, I can name loads, but games that are generally regarded as crap, I can't think of any that I think, oh, that's an amazing game. But like I said, console-wise, Virtual Boy and Jaguar, people dismiss both machines, probably never even played them. So, anyway, Bat, thanks very much. Ian Hunter, re the eyebrows, Alan. I think the lesson to be learned here is never try to repair anything electrical when it is still plugged in. I can't even remember. What was that again? What were you talking about? Was it your Amiga CD32 or something? Yeah, I think you tried to repair it. That's brilliant. So it went on fire then, Ian, eh? That's like exactly the kind of thing I would probably do. Wee Bob. I always feel awkward calling Bob Wee Bob because he's taller than me. I'm small. I am a very, very small gentleman. I'm 5'7", I think it is. Even Steve Benway's bigger than me, for God's sake. So, yeah. So calling the Wee Bob when Bob is not wee and I'm weer than him. Although, ironically, my mate Tony Temple calls me Big Al, so go figure. Anyway, Wee Bob, enjoyed listening along again while playing Mega Drive games. Question for next week. I'm a fan of the Desert Strike series and loved Cyclone on the Spectrum. Do you have any favourite helicopter game? For example, Choplifter, Silkworm, or something more simulation-like? Hope you had a great week, and thanks for answering my question last week. You're very welcome, Bob. Helicopter game, I do like Choplifter. I did play it, the original. I think Choplifter was one of these games. It came out on the C64, or maybe the Atari, and then it was converted to the arcades. Normally it's the other way around, but that was one of the few games that came out first on a home system, then converted across. Helicopter games, I always wanted to get into Desert Strike, and I never ever could. I noticed one thing about me is if a game is even slightly complicated, then I'm out. I don't have the patience, or maybe I'm too thick. I don't know, really don't know. One game I used to like, although I could never really play it, but I was super excited at the time when I bought it, was Super Huey on the C64. It was published, was it Access Software? Or was it, I'm trying to remember, was it Paul Norman that brought it out? I'm trying to remember. Let me do a quick Google. Super Huey C64. And basically it was an arcade simulation. Paul Norman, yeah, the guy that did Forbidden Forest. It was, and then there was also Super Huey 2. It just seemed like, I don't know, it was when I was playing it, you felt like you were in a helicopter, and yet probably playing it now, you would realise just how simple a game it was. But yeah, I quite liked that. But other helicopter games, I also enjoyed, like I said, Choplifter, Silkworm. You've called it Silkwork. Silkworm. Not a bad shoot 'em up. Not one of my favourites. But yeah, Super Huey was one of my, wouldn't say it was my favourite, but I did enjoy playing it, Bob. So anyway, thank you very, very much. Vintage Views, just closed my Google AdSense account. It was the only way to get what little funds I had in out. Shake it all about. I have not made anything from YouTube in years. No one new sees my videos at all. Well, yeah, you know what? It's a tough old one, that. I mean, as I told you, I have made £125, and that is a year and a half off YouTube. And I don't even know how to get the money out, so no idea. Milthy Swinbuckle, hello again, Meister. Quick question for the next waffle. Have you ever played a game that has taught you something useful that you never knew, or added a new skill that proved useful in the future? I'm racking my brains to give you an example of what I mean, but I can't think of a game that has really benefited me apart from the entertainment value. Surely though, there must be something. You know what, there's a couple of things. Playing joystick wagglers has made me aware that I can shake a joystick very, 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 very fast. I can also vibrate this index finger very fast. Can't think of any life skill, anything useful in life that I can use with a vibrating finger. Yeah, moving on. So there's that. Yeah, I can shake a joystick extremely fast. I can vibrate my finger. One game which that taught me the national anthems was Summer Games, because you've got all the national anthems, and I learned the national anthems through playing that game. I also learned that 1942 was the Battle of Midway, for obvious reasons, and that's no joke. Can't think of anything else. No, not really. I think that's about it. Yeah, so I can vibrate my finger very fast and waggle a joystick. Yeah, moving on swiftly. Colin Jones, got a little more time. Aye, so you did think of a question, Colin. The FTC have no jurisdiction outside the USA. Yeah, we're talking about this Koopa, or whatever the hell it's called. Not Koopa. Koopa's in Nintendo games. I think the worst that can happen is demonetization. Dave of EEV blog has a lot to say in this matter. Waffle question, have you seen the new Capcom console? Massive ugly thing with just 16 games for £200. The controls are good but can't be used as external controllers. Be interesting to hear your views. Yeah, Ashens did a kind of review on it. I didn't watch all of the video, but it is huge. And you know what, I don't really see, I mean, £200 for 16 games. I would much rather give my mate Mike money to build a better console. You know what I mean? Why would I want to pay 200 quid when I can pay 50 quid for this and I can play 10,000 games, including the 16 that are on that thing? So yeah, don't really, well I do, hang on a second, I'm just going to, sorry, yeah, it's obviously people with too much money that's going to buy something like that. You'll probably find that people who have never downloaded a ROM in their life will probably buy that and they'll think, wow, you know, and I suppose we are spoiled having all these ROMs, so don't know, but I certainly won't be buying one, Colin, that's for sure. Hearing you talk about modern remakes of old games, what were your favourite 3D games of the 8-bit era? For example, Driller, and how well do you think these could do with a modern remake? Well, obviously, Rescue and Fractalis, I thought the modern remake was really, really good. I was never really into 3D games in the 8-bit. I mean, Driller was after I had moved away. I had moved across to the Atari ST and Commodore Amiga by that point, so I never really got to play these 3D games. The only game I remember playing, you had things like Mercenary, which is obviously kind of vector-based graphics. The only 3D game that I did enjoy was The Sentinel, which was it was kind of ahead of its time, and I would love to play. If anybody knows of a modern remake of The Sentinel, please let me know, because I'd love to play it, you know, with proper using a mouse and that kind of stuff. I know there was one for the PC that I played years ago, but I can't even remember what it is. I'm guessing I could probably go into Google and find it. The only other game, I suppose, like Elite, you know, I did mention that, I think, in a waffle last week. I would love for somebody to remake Elite, but just stick to the original formula. I don't want Elite, whatever it's called, Dangerous, or I can't even remember what it's called, the new Elite. I just want a simple, straightforward port of the original Elite, but with nice graphics, nice simple gameplay. That would be lovely. But yeah, the Sentinel, if anyone knows of a good version of that for the PC, please let me know. But yeah, I would probably say the Sentinel, Colin. There weren't many 3D games that I really played, but I'm sure something like, you know, these filled in games like Driller, etc., they would obviously benefit from modern remakes. Alternatively, you could play it through an emulator and just increase the speed, and that's why I like emulation. So yeah, thank you, Colin. Juan Smith, an Amiga without scanlines looks wrong. Cannon Fodder is a perfect example, as it looks wrong in an LCD because its graphics were designed around displaying having scanlines. It only really makes sense on old computers, consoles. Happy to take some pics of the Amiga Spectrum running on a, can't read that, 1-inch PVM. They're surprisingly prominent, but you don't notice them because they look right. Yeah, somebody was asking about scanlines, and you know, I think scanlines was just something that existed because of the TV technology, whereas people want scanlines. I mean, effectively scanlines does give an inferior picture, but as Juan Smith says there, some games were designed along the fact that the game had scanlines. You need the scanlines in to really make it look proper. And lastly, Andrew Clegg, I was talking about this kid-friendly thing. You've got to tell YouTube if your videos are kid-friendly. You could just ship to BitChute and let every subscriber know before the changeover. The monetization issue won't affect your massive earnings. No, you're no wrong there. Supposedly BitChute can import all your videos from a YouTube account, so no additional uploads to do. YouTube again passing the buck onto the creators when it was them tracking kids' habits, not the creators. EEV blog Dave showed what you need to do to make your videos not targeted at children. You could always swear like Qbert at the start of every video to prove to them it's not for kids. That's not a fucking bad point, actually. Maybe I should call it the fucking Friday Waffle. I don't know. Yeah, that might do it. What do you think? Anyway, it's 9:45 and I'm getting up soon, so I need to get this video finished, edited and uploaded onto YouTube land so I can release it on Friday, which is hopefully tonight or whenever you're watching it. So anyway guys, as always, thank you for all your support, all your questions. I do appreciate it. Yeah, I just hope you have an absolute ace weekend, and as always, thank you very, very much for watching.